Hey everybody, how's it going? It's the Daily Shooter and it's January 2nd, 2019, and the California legislature is wasting no time getting 3 new anti-gun bills in front of committee, some as early as tomorrow. So let's go ahead and talk about what they are. Now, we all know that 2019 is going to be kind of a rough year for the Second Amendment, especially in the state of California, where Gavin Newsom was recently elected as governor, a guy who essentially ran on a platform of expanded gun control. And now that he has a supermajority in the California legislature, we know that any gun control bill that makes it to his desk has a really high likelihood of being signed. Also in public, Gavin Newsom has said that he plans on going back and revisiting some of the gun control bills that Jerry Brown had previously vetoed and reevaluating those vetoed bills to see if possibly they could be reinstated. So it's going to be a tough year. It's going to be an uphill battle and we have a fight before us. But again, let's talk about the 3 new bills that are looking at being introduced as early as tomorrow. Okay, so the first one we're going to talk about is probably the one that irritates me the most. This is AB 18. This one might be heard by committee as early as tomorrow. This is the firearms excise tax bill. Basically, what they want to do is put an additional tax on your semi-automatic rifles and handguns. This money would be used to fund the Cal VIP program or California Violence Intervention Program. Now, at the time of this video, I'm not exactly sure how big this tax is going to be. I do know, however, from the text of the bill that it's going to be a percentage of the gross sales receipt. So it's going to be something very similar to a sales tax. Now, one of the problems that I have with this bill, on top of the thousands of other problems that I have with it, is that it's not really going to affect the rich. It's going to affect low-income people. California already has some of the highest taxes in the state, and if you add an additional tax on top of sales tax, it's basically going to make the Second Amendment unaffordable to practice by those people who are low income and already trying to scrape by. They're not going to be able to get a firearm because simply they were taxed or regulated out of it. Now, another problem I have with this bill is that it's taking a group of law-abiding people who are attempting to buy a firearm through a licensed FFL and singling them out to pay a tax that nobody else would have to pay in order to fund these grants that are going to be distributed to Cal VIP, which is the California Violence Intervention Programs. So it's taking a group of people and excising a tax from them that is not applicable to other groups of people. So if you are somebody who are going to be breaking the law, you wouldn't have to pay the tax. Only the people that are going to be paying the tax are people that are doing things the right way. So you can see that there are just a ton of problems going on here, and hopefully this one doesn't make it through. Now, the next two are AB 61 and AB 12. These next two actually expand on the red flag laws in California, basically our gun violence restraining orders and mental health issues related to firearms ownership. So we have AB 12, which actually expands the type of person or the amount of people who can file a gun violence restraining order against you, essentially stripping you of your Second Amendment rights before you have your day in court. So you do not have due process. The problem that I see again with this bill is that it's allowing people that are further and further from actually knowing you from filing these. Now, I have a problem with all red flag laws. I don't think that somebody should lose their rights or have to defend themselves after the fact. But nonetheless, they are taking people that are now further and further and further from your circle of close people that actually know you and allowing those people to have you stripped of your Second Amendment rights until, again, you can defend yourself in court. Now, in California, we already have extensive regulations as it pertains to mental health and firearms ownership. AB 61 seeks to expand on that, further increasing the regulations on mental health or mental illness and the ownership or possession of firearms. Now, one of the problems I see with this bill, while I understand its intent, and this is definitely a topic that we need to discuss, mental health and firearms ownership, I still think that this could be a problem because what it's going to do, it's going to keep people who own firearms from seeking mental health treatment because they're going to be afraid that they're going to lose one or more of their constitutionally protected rights if they say something that they shouldn't, or they feel like they're going to say something that they shouldn't. It's going to keep them from seeking mental health treatment. And from keeping them away from that mental health treatment that could potentially help them, they're going to go ahead and stick to themselves. That could be a problem, and we all know that that could be a problem. So placing further restrictions on them instead of encouraging people to get help when they need it I see that causing more problems than it would actually solving anything. So what we need to do, in my own personal opinion, excuse me if I'm interjecting here, but my personal opinion is that we not post so many restrictions on people with mental health issues, but we instead encourage people with mental health issues that are not receiving treatment to possibly get that treatment without fear of reprisal. That's where I would go with this. Nonetheless, these are 3 bills that are set to hit already in January. These are going to be heard by committee as early as tomorrow. And this is definitely something that I'm going to keep an eye on in the future and as they progress, and I'll bring that to you guys. So I want to thank you all very much. Happy New Year. Let's keep up the fight. What I would do is I would support your local gun groups, Gun Owners of America, the Firearms Policy Coalition, and the Cal Guns Foundation. These are all groups that are actively working to help support us every single day. Regardless if the battle is a guaranteed win or not, these people are going out there, they are filing lawsuits, and they are fighting on our behalf. So if I was going to give my money to somebody, I would give it to Firearms Policy Coalition, the Cal Guns Foundation, or Gun Owners of America, or all 3. Make sure that you donate. That's how we're going to fight. We're going to win back in court. Thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe. Have a great day.